Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the Christopher Mark Show. I have a privilege and honor to be here in front of an amazing artist, amazing individual. Hey, Claire, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell everybody your full name and what you do?
Of course, thank you so much for having me. My name is Claire Louise Huter. I go by my full name for all acting and Claire Louise for modeling. And coincidentally, I am an actor and petite model, film
Okay.
actor, petite model.
So let me ask you a question. So, what inspired you to walk this path of being a model, being an actor? What was that? What was that thing that was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? This is it.
It's always been a part of me. Creative expression in almost any form has been a part of me, whether it's been art, music. I grew up singing, and then that translated to acting, being on stage and all that throughout school, and doing opera in university, and
Hmm.
then transitioning from opera to film when I moved down to Florida here. So I've had the privilege of experiencing so many different ways to express myself and finding those niches where I really feel at home. And I found that in acting and a little bit in petite modeling, but acting's been my true love this whole time.
So when you when you transition into acting, like, was there anything in particular that you found difficult about, being able to create these different emotions, these different feelings? Was there anything that was like, okay, this is that one thing where it's like this is a little hard for me?
I'd say that sometimes it's separating myself from the role. Sometimes it's easy to get lost, but maybe not so lost, just so deep in the role that you. And I mean, yes, that is a good thing as an actor, to be, one with the role, or to find those connections that truly make it you and your own, or stepping into that person if it is someone in real life and you're trying to be true to that. But it's being able to step back into myself that I do find challenging sometimes. And it's that I heard it being described as an eloquent dance back and forth. And
Right.
I do find coming back from that dance a little difficult sometimes. So it's a pleasant challenge to be able to transition like that as an actor.
Yeah, I remember one time I was working on a short film, and people were asking me, they was like, why did you choose, this specific person for this role? And I said, more so just because of how she acts naturally is kind of similar to the actual character. And so what I realized was like, putting her in this role would be a lot easier for her than it would be for certain other people, because this is just kind of her personality. She's able to switch between different, because it was a
Mhm.
role where it required for her to play a person with multiple personality disorder.
Gotcha.
And so this person is like, she's so like dynamic creatively, where she can just, step into different characters, and it's really with ease. With when it comes to her, it's easy for her. But certain people where it would just be like, you could just tell that they would be trying too hard, or they would be like over the top with the acting process. Like, you're like, okay, you're being extra. Like, I understand you trying to sell this, but man. Um, so let me ask you this: like, is there a project that you're working on right now that that's really challenging for you right now?
I'm actually working on, there's a few projects I'm working on right now. But I'd say probably a little challenging is I'm actually trying to build my first feature film. I am
Wow.
adapting a book. Not gonna say which one, but hopefully the author will like my adaptation. And I, I'm doing it with the role. It's my dream role, and I am in love with this role. But I've always wanted to do it, but it's definitely something that's different for me. I've never done period before, and it's a period
Hmm.
piece. And as much as I see myself in this role, it's it's something I've never done before. It's a new leap, a new a new thing to try, and I'm very excited to jump into it. And with starting to piece her character together, I found that there's so much more behind the scenes with creating the entire film and creating her character. It's really become a whole experience, a whole challenging experience, which has become a learning experience in itself.
Yeah, you have to, certain things like, especially for certain roles, it's good that it challenges you because it's like puts you in that state where it's like, okay, you might get another role that because of this experience, it'll just expand everything else. And then now you're just like, people are like, oh man, how do you know about playing these type of roles? It's like, well, I tried this and this panned out, or sometimes it doesn't, but then it might prepare you for the next thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's crazy how it goes like that. So let me ask you this. So when it comes down to, so I know you do acting. Now, when it comes down to you doing modeling, like, have you ever done like runway, or do you do more so like photography and artistry type of modeling?
I have had the privilege and opportunity to do a variety of different types,
Okay.
including runway.
Okay.
And I found that it's hard to have a favorite. I love doing fashion. I love doing petite fashion. People don't see petite models in fashion often, but it's there. And lifestyle, just capturing the everyday beauty of life and everyday activities.
Right.
It's real fun. And then doing runway on the other side, I've had a couple opportunities, and to be able to walk the runway as a petite model is so fun. It gives you such a confidence boost. It really does. Not only just being able to be out there in front of people, but the way in which you walk just gives you that confidence. So modeling has been pretty much a way that I can just find another way to express myself and also just build confidence. Ironically, I'd say.
So how do you like? Okay, so I've put together fashion shows before. So and
Mhm.
everybody always has like a different mindset before they go ahead and walk. What do you like? Do you have an alternate like version of yourself before you go to walk, or is there like what type of mindset shift do you take on? Like, what's the process before you say, hey, all right, now it's time for me to go?
Um, as much as I like to be my bubbly self and have fun. When it's go time, it's go time. I
Okay.
like it's pretty much just a shift in the atmosphere, and I just say it's time to go, and I pretty much just block out all the extra, and I'm like focused. It's
Okay.
just me and the runway. Just me and the
Wow.
runway and the clothes.
It
It's time to do it.
that's hard for certain people. That's so hard because it's like certain people they'll get like they'll easily get distracted because of the cameras and people screaming, "Oh my God, it's good to see you!" Ah."
I think
So it's like,
one
yeah,
thing that my entire life has helped me train for, with all the acting and the singing in front of people. I've always been in front of people, so walking in front of people and all those cameras, it's nothing.
okay, all right, all right, all right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have learned. Just go ahead and walk. You know, block out everything. Claire is dropping knowledge today for everyone, so you guys can know.
Your confidence shows. Your confidence shows in your posing in your walk, and you just look that much better doing it. You really do.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So let me ask you this: when it comes down to you, whether it's through modeling or whether it's through acting, what would you say is the the emotion that you're like the best at conveying? Like, what type of emotion are you really good at conveying?
I I can I'm torn between two, to be honest, and it's because I've been told a lot that I can. I know it comes with the hair, but I've been told a lot that I can be intimidating. So
You?
I'm a naturally intimidating person, apparently.
Okay. All right.
So
All right. All right.
so being, that like, getting that look and just like staring daggers through people, I'm really good at that. But
Okay.
also I've also leaned towards like I've been doing some vulnerable characters,
Mm-hmm.
over the past couple of years, and I found that vulnerability is also something that I've kind of blossomed in as well. I can kind of do kind of opposites very well. It's like that very vulnerable person, but at the same time, someone who's, you're not gonna mess with me.
Right. Okay. 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 Yeah,
The
because I
type.
think that's it's really hard. Like most people like have this like I know certain people where they're really good at just looking really extremely serious, and then you have the person who's like, hey, they're it's more natural for them to be funny, or it's more natural for them to be more bubbly and up, have a high spirit. So okay, okay, so it's the daggers. Okay, have you ever intimidated someone where you were like surprised by their response?
um, well, when I was told that I was intimidating, I was very surprised. But yeah, sometimes I'd say that maybe I just have the classic resting bitch face RBF,
Okay,
and
okay.
I would just say something, and I'd see it on their face, be like, oh crap, no, I didn't relax my eyes, crap, they think I'm mad at them. So sometimes I guess, but just learning to soften those eyes.
Okay, I got you. Totally. You gotta, you know what? I think at the end of the day, you can't help how people see you. You know how you feel internally, but how it comes off is like people are like, oh man, you seem so angry, and I'm like, I'm not angry at all. What are you talking about? Like,
Is
I'm fine.
actually it's all about people's perception of you. And hilariously, my first, no, hilarious is the right word, but funnily, my first my first short film that I wrote and directed, titled Perception, was actually
Hmm.
kind of linked into that too. I wanted to draw attention to how people see someone versus how that person may see themselves, or anything that person may be doing to try to change how
Hmm.
everyone else sees them. And I
Hmm.
did kind of a duality kind of thing where that vulnerable, insecure person who's made mistakes, they're kind of emotional, they just don't know how to, they're trying to get better. And this other person who everyone sees as, oh, that is you. You're
Hmm.
trying to get better, but you're just like that. And it's amazing just how they can be different sometimes. The perception between who you think you are, you see yourself, and other people see you versus it's unfortunately sad that some people don't get a chance to change that with people, and then other times they do. So I wanted to bring a light to that, and it's interesting how like the perception changes sometimes. People
It
are
really
always growing.
does. Yeah, it really does. Like I mean, I know I've run into that with people where they thought I was really one way when it was really the other, and it's always that back and forth where it's like I think the best you can do is what I find is to try to find other avenues to express that side of yourself. Because sometimes, like, you can have a conversation with a person, and everything that you're saying can get lost in translation, and they misconstrued everything that you're saying, and then now all of a sudden it's like, no, that's not who I am. And so it's like, okay, well, this is if you want to know who I really am, watch this interview or watch this, because then that way you can get a feel for my personality, or you may get a feel for, maybe when we're talking, it might create a different type of emotion versus if you're seeing me interact with someone else and you can see that, connection. So it's
That's
crazy how that works.
that's why I love creative expression so much, because I feel like it's almost the most honest way that we can communicate. Like, it's
Yeah,
so easy to misinterpret what people are saying while they're talking to you, while they're typing, anything. And creative expression is like music, acting, films, reading, even, but like
mm,
art. Creative expression is a way that people can look at something, perform something, and be like, okay, this is what I feel, that I connect with this. This helps me communicate what I feel better than my words can.
right,
And
right.
I really love that.
Yeah, that's why I got into what I got into. Trust me, I've put on shows and productions and worked with a lot of different people, and I love it so much because I love helping the artists to develop their career, but I also love allowing them to still be creative and making sure that there's a sense of like authenticity to everything that they're doing so that they can like tell their story. Because I always say, like, you know even though we're acting and portraying these different characters or being other people, or we're still telling our story, and we're just, whether it's through this role or whether it's through whatever else that we do creatively, we're still conveying our story.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you this, Claire. So what is your ultimate goal with everything that you're doing, with all these accomplishments that you've had thus far? What is your vision for you, for the long run?
Well, acting is my passion, so I do want to be someone who can tell a story like, like Jamie Lee Curtis or like Leonardo DiCaprio. I want to be one of those impactful actors who, not just has like their niche where they act in, but they really step into their roles. And
Right.
I really admire not just them, but so many other actors. And I want to be in a position, where I'm like them. I want to impact other people like me as they are seeing me. I want to go as high as they go. I want my work to speak for itself so well that perhaps I could win an Oscar someday. I know many people have that dream, but I just want my work to be as good as it can be, and I want to be able to fully show what I can do. My dream is to be able to fully show the world and express myself and be able to elicit emotion in others. Good memories.
That is amazing. I think that's the most beautiful and honest answer.
Thank you.
Most
It's
people.
such a world, So
Yeah, it
I want
is.
something we can all connect.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's really all it is. I think that's ultimately, I always say to people, like, we all have ultimately the same goal. And the goal is really, whether it's helping people or bringing people together, it's all the same goal. Now, how we're going about it might be different. How people respond to us might be different, because everybody's energy and vibration and all this other stuff, it hits different for different people. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we all have the same goal of actually just trying to impact and help and support people. So it's amazing.
This
Let me ask. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is, how I've been blessed. In my life, other people are talented in different ways, and they contribute to the world in different ways. So I just see this as my way to contribute to the world.
That's all you can do. So Claire, what is that one thing that you use to keep you going? Like, what is that quote, that thing that you say, okay, this is what keeps me going no matter what?
Well, other than having a pet always, I've grown up with furry animals and I always need a furry friend to hug when I'm having a bad day.
I
Other
understand.
than that, um, there actually is a quote that has always stuck with me, always kind of pushed me through things, and it's a Maya Angelou quote, and it was, "A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer; it sings because it has a song." And
I got you.
to me, that was, we're not all like, I know, everyone's trying to find an answer, for life, for everything, but if we can just appreciate, I'm always trying to find a reason why, why didn't I get that part? Why, everyone's always trying to find a reason why something. And when I think about that quote, I try not to worry because, a bird sings because it has a song. There's just some things that exist because they are beautiful. They're meant to be. We're meant to create. We're meant to express ourselves. So it helps me
Right.
connect back with myself.
That's awesome. And lastly, if you had to give advice to the people who are, following your path as an artist, as a model, as an actress, what what would be that advice?
I'd say that everything has ups and downs. Life, an acting career, and especially an acting career, a modeling career. And everyone's going to tell you to, give it your all and everything. But it's okay to step back and take a break for yourself. Everyone's trying to move so fast nowadays that I don't think that we are taking time for ourselves, for our mental health, and that's the most important. I've been telling myself that I need to slow down. I've been impatient with myself.
Yeah.
But in reality, if you find yourself not where you want to be, just take that deep breath. Bluey taught me to literally grab it and throw it away. I literally learned that on Bluey. Like, I'm just saying, your mental health is the most important thing. So no matter how fast everybody else is moving, how crazy life, up and down life, acting is, just focus on you. It's okay to take a step back. It'll be there for you when you come back. Just look at
Okay.
Lee Kwan. Lee Kwan. I can't say his name. Oh, I'm so bad. Lee Quick.
What before I go, because I want to make sure that we cover everything. You don't have any other hidden talents, right? Like there's not like you can yodel or
uh,
something. There's nothing else, right?
well, just the opera. I recently discovered I could paint pet portraits, so I've started
Okay.
painting. Other than that, I love being a creative musical person, expressive person.
Claire, you're awesome. I want to, before we go, I want to make sure everyone is able to find you, and if they, want to watch this interview and be able to reach out to you and connect with you. What is your social media? Do you have a website? How do people reach out to you?
Of course. Well, I have my own website. It is www.clairelouisehuter.com. There you can see all of my acting and modeling work, keep up to date with everything I'm doing. And you can also watch some of the short films and etc. that I've been in. And then for social media, I have on Instagram, it's Cinder Redhead. So like Cinderella, turn it into Redhead. You can thank my
That's
stepdad
cool.
for that. That was a cute one.
That's cool.
And then, thank you. On Facebook, I am Claire Louise Huter, actor, and Claire Louise as a model.
Wow, wow. And let you guys know. So we're going to be creating a profile for Claire as part of our the Dreamer Society, so you guys can check her out there as well. We'll have everything there. Claire, thank you for your time. Do you have any shout outs you want to send to people or anybody?
Oh, put
Anybody?
me on the spot. Ooh. I don't
Nope,
know.
nobody.
Hey, Archico Productions, thank you so much for giving me my first feature film role. And everybody, look out for The Demon of Serling coming out sometime this year, and The Truth About Monsters.
Cool beans.
There we go.
Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Thank you.